We have had a report of a tornado again on 184, kind of near the Mulkey-town area. Just shows that it's still strong enough to produce a tornado and still cause some damage. Very strong, very large trees really wrapped apart at the base and thrown across. So definitely showing that damage and just definitely showing how wide this tornado actually was. But something else that we've been noticing, again, earlier we showed you the house that was nearly completely destroyed. And again, we can see that just over the field here. But just next to that, another house sustaining hardly any damage. And really over the last hour, that little bit of storm activity has really intensified, and we're actually keeping an eye on one particular cell that is moving now out of Hamilton County and through White County. Notice that bowing section. Notice how it's kind of pushing out from the front. That indicates that there are some very strong winds with this storm. So as that moves through, expect to deal with the very strong winds. But as I mentioned before, even though that is the main threat that we are expecting, large hail and an isolated tornado or two cannot be completely ruled out.
A little bit of rain out there is what I was trying to say, Rachel. Is that going to kind of clear out later today?
We are expecting it to clear out, so you don't need to cry all day. It's okay.
Very cold, it
Very
looks like.
Wintry. In case you forgot, it was winter with the weather we had yesterday.
Yeah.
It's back. What you see in blue is a winter storm watch, and then everything you see in purple is a winter weather advisory. So pretty much everything indicating that there's the chance for that mixed precip that we've been talking about for a while. That goes into effect this evening and will run throughout Friday. A lot of the moderate snow right now getting ready to cross across I-57. So if you are getting ready to take that route, be aware, likely going to be driving through some of that. Most of us are hovering right around 10 degrees. Yesterday, someone described this as stupid cold, and I can't say I disagree with them. Once again, we're a little bit stupid cold. Well, Evie was talking about if she won the lottery, she'd be off on a tropical island, she'd be soaking up the sun. So think of those thoughts. Think warm thoughts this morning, because we're once again dealing with some wintry precipitation. This is actually sleet falling, and if you step outside, you can hear it, you can see there are ice pellets bouncing off the ground, and especially in these really dark blue areas, that is what is being picked up as sleet.
Rachel, we hear it all the time, but remind us why motorists should avoid these flooded roads.
Mark, because it could be the difference between arriving to your location a little bit late and possibly not even arriving at all. Roadways like the one you see behind me are completely impassable. We do also live in an age of technology, so one thing you almost always remember to grab before you head out the door is your cell phone. You can download the WSIL weather app. That will give you not only the current temperature for your location, but also, as we talk about those heat index values, what it feels like outside. But when you grab the cell phone, make sure to also grab yourself some water. Live in Carterville, Rachel Duensing, News 3. One of the reasons that I think it's starting to weaken this morning, it's moving into a little bit more shallow water. That means the water's not necessarily as deep and as warm, and that's what hurricanes use to kind of get a little bit more energy, but it's also dealing with a little bit more land mass, and that's causing friction. Frictions can also weaken hurricanes. While temperatures this morning aren't necessarily uncomfortable, they are warmer than normal, almost 10 degrees warmer than normal. We should be in the low to mid 50s, and we're in the low to mid 60s. And during the afternoon, likely going to feel like the single digits. Actual temperatures this afternoon will be in the upper teens. I think we're going to struggle to make it out of those teens, even with all the sunshine that we're going to be dealing with. If you think that you are going to be heading out at all today, now is the time to drink lots of water, get yourself hydrated, and bring a cooler with you with all of that water and anything that you can do to keep yourself cool. All eyes are on tomorrow afternoon. This red band is the path of totality for the total solar eclipse, and we've paused it right around the time of totality. Notice very strong southerly winds, a few clouds scattered around, but also because of that heat and humidity, much like today, there is the chance for a few isolated showers and storms. So that's something that you need to be aware of, but don't necessarily cancel your eclipse plans, because I do think the best chance for rain and storm activity is mainly focused late.
Putting accuracy first. This is News 3 weather.
And it is time for our viewer photo of the day.
I got a glimpse of it. I saw a lot of turkey photos yesterday, but today we're getting a different kind of bird.
We're getting a different kind of bird, but let's be honest. I kind of chose this one today because I kind of related to this bird on a personal level. After I finished Thanksgiving lunch yesterday, it's a little hard to see, but there is a wren there in the trees, and she's a little plump. And I felt very full after Thanksgiving yesterday. I had a lot to be thankful for. I had spent a lot of time with family. We spent a lot of great time together. We also ate a lot of great food. But it does tend to make you feel a little bit lethargic, a little bit full. So I wanted to get out and take a walk in the wild like this Wren was doing, but never actually made it too far off the couch. But either way, thank you so much to Gus for sending this photo in to us. Again, I just love how the Wren kind of naturally blends into its environment. A great camouflage there. If you have a weather, nature, or animal related photo that you'd like to share with us, send that to our social media sites, News 3 This Morning on Facebook, the hashtag WSILWX on Twitter, or you can email them to me at rduensing@WSIL-TV.com. 6 o'clock half hour is when we show those viewer photos, and we love to share them with all of you as well. This morning, if you are getting ready to head outside, maybe you're getting a little bit of a late start to the shopping, maybe you're heading back to work, whatever it might be, it's very pleasant out there. We are dealing with only a few clouds, and temperatures are even a little bit warmer than yesterday morning, so you might not need as thick of a coat, although it is still on the chilly side. Currently 32 in Harrisburg. Winds have gone calm. A little bit of good news if you are getting ready to head outside, but the winds aren't going to stay calm for long. Eventually, they are going to get a little bit on the breezy side later on this afternoon, and that's going to take these temperatures even warmer than we're already dealing with right now. Currently 35 in Carbondale, 30 in Cape Girardeau, 31 right now in Fredericktown. Paducah is actually one of our warmest spots on the map this morning. They are currently at 39 degrees. We have been dealing with mainly clear skies. Yesterday was a very pleasant day. If you maybe did get a chance to take a walk, maybe had a little bit more motivation than I did to actually get up and walk off some of that Thanksgiving food. But we dealt with lots of sunshine, but a few clouds are already starting to move back in. But we're not expecting these to last for very long. Over the next few hours, you will see kind of some high, thin, wispy clouds. Eventually, they'll clear out, and we are going to be left with lots of sunshine. And when we have lots of sunshine, that also means we're not going to be dealing with any precipitation. So once again, we are in a very kind of stagnant pattern, really not a lot of change coming, but there is a cold front that's going to try and make a little bit of change. It is going to take a little while to get here, mainly moving through tomorrow morning. Until then, we are going to be dealing with those breezy south to southwest winds, increasing our temperatures later on this afternoon. That front really isn't going to do very much other than help increase the cloud cover during the overnight hours and bring in another push of cooler conditions for very early on Sunday morning. But even that push of cold air isn't really going to do very much because high pressure will remain a little bit farther off to the south, but as it begins to move farther off to the east, that's going to increase those southerly winds again, and the warmer conditions are going to stick around. We're going to be in a little bit of a weather roller coaster, but at least it's not going to be nearly as active as where we were about a month and a half ago. Later on this afternoon, high temperatures will rise to near 60 degrees. That's thanks in part to all of the sunshine, but also the breezy southwest winds we were talking about. They'll be around 10 to 15 miles an hour and remain breezy overnight, but also that's the front approaching, increasing the cloud cover. The breezy southwest winds paired with those increasing clouds are going to keep us warm during the overnight hours, and we're likely only going to fall back into the mid 40s. We might start out with a little bit of cloud cover tomorrow morning as a result of that, but then we get sun by the afternoon, and that sun and those warm conditions stick around throughout the next 5 to 6 days. So if you like the warm conditions, you're really going to enjoy these next few days.
Right.
Two thumbs up.
Clearly Kevin's a fan.
I dig it. I dig it. We appreciate it. Thank you for bringing us that good news this morning.
You're welcome. Yeah.